Welcome back into Main Street Living, guys. We've had a lot of fun, different kind of science topics on today's show, and our resident scientist here on Main Street Living is Miss Cheryl Nelson, our lady in science. And most recently, what was the thing you got to do most recently?
Oh, it was so cool. So I love weather, science, space, everything STEM. And they had a Northrop Grumman rocket launch from NASA Wallops Island in Virginia. And my husband and I actually went up there and we got to see the launch live. And it was really cool. The picture shows that we were about maybe 10 to 12 miles away as the crow flies. So you could see the launch pad, saw the steam, see the rocket. You could hear it about 40 seconds later. It was just really cool to watch, guys.
Yeah, and that was Katherine Johnson. That was the one they named after Katherine Johnson that sent up to the Space Center. So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yes, she was such an influential mathematician. Of course, everything she's done for space travel and exploration, it was so amazing. And speaking of space, with that and the landing of the Perseverance Rover on Mars, there's a lot of excitement right now around space and rockets. And if you're looking for a fun hands-on activity for the whole family, our friend Sari Custer from the Arizona Science Center has some out-of-this-world experiments that you can do at home.
Hey everybody, hope you're ready for a little more Sari on science, because today we're at the Science Center and we're in the astronaut exhibit. Now, this exhibition takes a look at all the physical and mental challenges astronauts go through to become space explorers. Now, if you can't make it down to Arizona Science Center to see the exhibition, don't worry. I've got some great activities that you can try for exploring space science at home.
Engine start and liftoff.
When it comes to space exploration, one of the most exciting things to watch is the rocket launch. Rockets use fuel to propel the rockets and everything they're carrying off the Earth and into space. The exhaust creates an action of pushing against the Earth, and the opposite reaction is what pushes the rocket into the air.
We can experiment with these same forces at home using DIY bubble rockets. Now, all you're going to need to make your rockets is a little bit of water, some antacid tablets, probably a bunch of antacid tablets, and some film canisters. Now you're probably saying, Sari, I've never even seen a film canister in person, and that's okay. You can find these really easily at your favorite online retailer, and if you can't, you can find a pretty good substitution at your favorite dollar store or grocery store. Go into the toy aisle and you can find the little canisters of slime and other toys with the snap-on lids. They're a little bit bigger than this, but those canisters can work well. Again, it's got to be the snap-on lids. And safety, really important to have some adult supervision during this activity. We're going to be making some projectiles, some little rockets. So make sure you're not pointing these at your face, you're not pointing them at anyone else, and always safety first. So make sure you've got your goggles for this activity.
Fill your film canisters about 3/4 of the way with water. Try experimenting with different amounts. Add half a tab of antacid. Again, you can try experimenting with different amounts of antacid. Close the lid tightly and then flip it over. What we want to do is build the pressure by trapping gas. Antacids release carbon dioxide when activated with water. What's happening here is that the gas builds up until the lid fails and pops off, but the release of gas provides enough lift to launch your rocket into the air.
Now, I encourage you to experiment with your rockets. Try adding some fins to the outside of the container, or even try adjusting the amount of water or the amount of antacid you use inside. Create some friendly family competition and see who can launch the rocket that goes the furthest. Well, up next on our list of science activities, we're going to take a look at our closest celestial neighbor, the moon, but in particular, the surface of the moon and how it looks.
Studying the surface of a moon or planet can reveal its history and composition. What do you notice most about the surface of our moon? Likely that it's covered in impact craters. Impact craters form when a meteorite collides with the surface of a moon, planet, or any other body in space. We can compare these craters to other known craters on Earth to learn more about the Earth's climate and history. You can investigate craters at home by using a few simple materials: flour, cocoa, and an assortment of balls, rocks, or other objects. Use a shallow tub or pan and fill it with about 2 inches of flour, sprinkle a light coating of cocoa over top, and then have some fun tossing in all of your objects. Consider experimenting with different heights and angles when you drop your objects. See how it changes the impact crater. You may have also noticed that while this activity is extremely fun, it can also be extremely messy with all of the flour and cocoa that gets ejected. So if you choose to do this indoors, just be prepared.
As you can see, impact crater shape depends on the size and angle of entry of our meteorite. So try a bunch of different objects to see how your lunar surface will change over time. Which objects make the biggest craters? What else do you notice? What happens to the cocoa? Ask the questions and make observations. All right, I hope you had as much fun with those activities as I did. And of course, next time you're in Phoenix, stop by Arizona Science Center. But until then, you can always find more science online at azscience.org. Now I'm going to go do my G-force training.
Oh my gosh, guys, that was so cool. I'll have to try that trick and making the rockets myself. That would be so fun. I mean, I could see kids up and down the street playing with that all day.
I can see your cats going in every direction, freaking out with that going on. So.
They totally would. Yes, and there's so much to learn, more fun science to discover at azscience.org.
That's right. I know I would make a mess in my house, but we got more of Main Street Living coming up next.